everyone, my name's Lizzie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I currently live on a narrowboat in France called Benjamin, and I've been sharing with you my moving in process and how I live on it. And I thought, because I noticed I hit 1,000 subscribers, which thank you very much, I really appreciate it. I can't believe how quickly that has happened. I mean, literally last time I spoke to you I was saying thank you for 100 subscribers, so it means a lot. What you can hear is the kettle. I'm sorry, I'm boiling the kettle. Maybe I shouldn't have started the kettle whilst I was talking. So I thought in this video I would, just do like a get to know me and Benjamin, because in the comment section I'm getting quite a lot of questions about, why I'm in France, the length of the boat, what kind of boat it is, why am I on a boat, and stuff like that. So I just thought it'd be quite nice to get to know me a bit more, and I might answer some of your many questions about my heating system. Yes, I thought I'd do that. But first, I saw a really funny, but I liked the comment about I should make tea in a teapot. So that's what I'm going to do, because I do have 2 teapots. I don't know, I never think about making tea in a teapot. So I'm going to do that right now. So this is for you, person who told me I should make tea in a teapot. And then I'm going to be very naughty and eat a mini chocolate log, because there's 2 and there's one for pudding tonight. And what am I going to do with the other one? I'm not going to be here tomorrow because I am, but I'm going to be out food shopping and getting Christmas decorations and stuff. So I got to eat it now. So I'm going to have a cup of tea, a bit of chocolate log, probably watch some YouTube, and then I will catch you again when I am making pizza, because it is pizza night, and probably just have a sit down. You can watch me make pizza. I will tell you all kinds of things. Here is my little teapot. I think I can get about 2 cups worth of tea. So let me get my Earl Grey. Look at that! Isn't that cute? Let's see. Can you see it? Just try not to drop it. That's what I just said. Okay, we're putting that back down. Not touching again. Well, I guess I can tell you a bit about myself. The general stuff. So my name, well, everyone calls me Lizzie, but obviously my real name is Elizabeth. I speak English because my family is English, but I was born in France, so I speak French as well. I was actually born in this town where I'm moored. My parents decided to move to France to start this boating business, like almost 30 years ago now. And I have been around boats literally my entire life. I used to live in a lock house when I was younger. Obviously not really narrow boats, because they are an English boat, not a French boat, so you don't see many of these. I do know a decent amount about boats and stuff, but I do appreciate all your comments and your worries and stuff about doing things wrong. I also, obviously, every time I do something, ask my parents to make sure that I'm not being silly and endangering myself. I do read your comments, I do see what you're saying about blocking the air vents and stuff, but where the duvet isn't actually my air vent. My air vent's at the back of the boat, for some reason, I don't know why. Basically, where I put a curtain up and was saying, oh, there's a gap on the top of the door, it was actually done on purpose so that the air could come in. So that curtain has been taken down, and there's plenty of air coming in. I also wanted to point out that my windows are not, clearly, don't stay closed very well, as you can see. This is what's holding that one closed. So I get quite a lot of air through there. My hatches on the side are not airtight at all, so I get plenty of air through there. And then obviously I have ceiling ventilation and stuff, so there's plenty of ventilation in here. I do have a carbon monoxide detector now, which, thank you. You were right for shouting at me. Is the tea ready? I should have had one right from the beginning, really. But I have one now, so that's much better. And I also have a smoke detector. So they're all set up. It's true, it was silly of me, I should have had them straight away. So first of all, there's my tea. Look how lovely that looks. It's going to be boiling hot, and he's right. Now I'm going to have another cup of tea waiting for me once I finish this one. Let's go and sit down and have a chat, shall we? So yes, those were the main things I wanted to address, that it is safe for indoors. It was given to me by another boater who used to use it every day, all day, and he just doesn't use it anymore because he's got different heating now, but he said I could have it, so he used it all the time. I think it must be that in France these kind of heaters are used a lot more, but mainly I just use my radiators, which is what's been set up on the boat. And the reason I was so cold before is because I was silly and I hadn't opened the gas bottle fully. So it was not only not getting enough of the gas, it wasn't getting the pressure, which is why the heating wasn't turning on basically and staying on. So now the gas bottle is fully open when I'm using it, and then I turn it off at night and close the gas bottle. The next part I wanted to talk about was security on the boat. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I did a little story where yesterday at about 2:30 in the morning I woke up to the sound of someone stepping onto my boat. And obviously I live by myself, so I was quite nervous. So I got up, took my phone with me, and obviously there's blinds over the door, but it was a he for sure. He had a torch or was using the light from his phone to look through the windows to try and, I don't know, to see if it was lived on, to see if anyone was there, to see if it was empty. Maybe it would be easy for him to try and, you know, get in to sleep or something, you know, because it's getting quite cold. I don't know, so I walked up to it. He didn't see me. He was literally on the boat for like 20 seconds, looked through the windows and then got off the boat, so nothing happened, but you know, it's still scary and I was worried he was going to come back. But because he left, even though he didn't see me, I then opened the blinds because I wanted him to know I was on here and that there was someone living on here, because that night obviously I had all the lights off, whereas actually I know a lot of boaters keep like just a little side light on just so that people know there's actually someone on the boat. He left, and then when I saw that he was far enough, I actually went outside and was staring at him because I was like, I want you to know that there's someone on here. And I was quite angry, kind of, you know, I was like, it's my boat, what are you doing on here? You shouldn't be, you know, flashing your light through my windows. So I was out there in my little PJs that have skiing people all over them, barefoot, standing on the boat, staring at him like, what are you doing? He turns around, waves at me and is like, bonjour, and then just walks off. Obviously didn't sleep very much that night. So luckily I was quite pleased that I had that new lock installed because that made me feel a bit safer. But I was worried that he might come back, or he might come back with some friends, or I don't know. But he didn't, and I think more likely than not he didn't realise that there was someone living on there, because 2 boats that sandwich me aren't lived on at the moment. And then the 2 boats behind me aren't lived on, so this area kind of looks like full of boats that aren't lived on, and I think maybe Benjamin looked like the most discreet and easiest one to get into maybe, but I don't think he even tried to open the door. So anyway, I didn't call the police, maybe I should have, but I don't know, at that time I didn't really know what to do apart from just go back to bed and think that every sound was someone coming onto my boat again. So then obviously in the morning I spoke to my mum about it. She was coming up to the port to work anyway, so we ended up going to the hardware store and we bought an alarm for the door, a motion detector light so that it comes on obviously if someone passes it. I bought some twinkly lights for outside that are solar powered, they know someone lives on there. I bought like an air horn to make some more sound, so bought all kinds of things to try and, you know, make me feel a bit safer, but also it probably would frighten someone off. And then I made a little sign saying boat has alarms on it and stuck it in the window, and no one came back as far as I'm aware. And then I'll see you again when I'm making my pizza. Oh, one last thing I wanted to say, which was about, you know, the heating and the ventilation. I do appreciate your comments because you're, you know, I realise that you're only looking out for me, and that most likely from experience that you don't want things like that to happen again. And most, I would say, 3/4 of all of the comments are very kind and are very constructive criticism, which I completely appreciate. And it's, you know, made me realise that I should know a bit more about certain things and ask my parents questions and make sure that, you know, certain things are safe. But there are some people that I don't know if they forget that I am a human being and that I'm not just a little video, but you know, just be kind, be polite in some of your comments. If you don't think I'm doing something right, that's fine. You're allowed to think that, but you know, the way you express yourself makes a big difference in how I interpret your comment, because obviously I'm only reading, so I'm making up your voice in my head, but you might be saying it in a different tone, but depending on the words you use, I might take it as you're being quite harsh. I mean, I had some comments that weren't very nice, so I just deleted them, because if you're not going to be nice, then I don't need those comments. Moral of what I'm trying to say is be kind and be patient with me. I am back, and here's my dough. Sticky, hang on, I need some flour. Sorry. I am back now. Just had a nice chat with my family. I had a nice shower, feel nice and fresh. Seems like my motion detector light has charged up enough that it seems to be working at the moment, so that's good, because it wasn't working yesterday. I've just realised, I don't think I have a rolling pin. How am I going to roll this out? mine in hand, I suppose. What do you think? I mean, it's round. I think that's the best we're gonna do. Hey, you improvise and you adapt. So yeah, I thought we'd have a little chat just about, you know, why I'm on the boat, what I'm doing here. So basically, I did all my schooling in France, most of it in this town actually, and then I went off to uni to study styling, fashion styling, which I loved. Met some great people there. Loved the UK. My last year didn't go too well. I don't know, I lost my motivation for styling, and more importantly, I lost my passion for the fashion industry. I realised that, you know, I wasn't the right kind of person that wanted to be in that. I didn't want to live in a city. You know, I very much come from the countryside and love nature, and this is not going too well. It doesn't seem to be expanding very much. Yeah, I don't know, I kind of lost my way a bit when it came to fashion, but I still loved fashion and it still means a lot to me, and, you know, dressing up makes me feel good, and, you know, most of my confidence comes from, you know, my clothes and stuff. So, but uni, I guess, was also the place that I really found my love for vintage, and specifically the 1950s. I wrote my whole dissertation about it. How can I work in this industry? In the end, I was scrolling on Instagram and I came across a lady who does exactly what I do, and I was like, that is incredible. I was like, why can't I do that? So ever since I found this person, Amanda her name is, she's in America, and she sells some of the most amazing, not just 50s, you know, all eras, 30s, 40s, some amazing 80s pieces, which I don't like 80s particularly. So yeah, from then on I started slowly but surely building my collection, and found that Etsy was the best place to sell on, at least to start with. I've also just created my own website, which I'm really proud of. Doesn't seem to be doing much at the moment, but I don't have any ads on it, which is why, you know, you can't just expect it to explode and not have any ads. This is going to have to do, because I don't know how much bigger I can make this pizza before it doesn't fit on the tray. That'll do. That'll do. That's kind of the story of how I came across vintage, and, you know, continued my love for vintage by trying to sell it. Yeah, and how I ended up on Benjamin, well, let me get the tomato sauce and then we can carry on this conversation. Yeah, well, obviously, as I said before, my parents own a vintage business? No, that's me. My parents own a boat rental business, and also, obviously, a port then, so that the boats can have somewhere to be. And this boat was moored here and had been moored here for a little while now. And, well, ever since they bought it, which is over 10 years ago now, it's always been here. And yeah, it's just been sitting here actually in this area, in this place where it is, for a long time. And basically my dad went onto it, he thought it was lovely. It was a shame that it wasn't getting used, so we tried to find the owner. Sadly, the owner had passed away, and his wife was just basically paying for the mooring, but the boat wasn't being used. Her sons, or his sons, I'm not sure quite the story behind that, weren't interested at all in Benjamin, so ended up selling it to us. Yeah, I was in my last year of uni, and Mum sent me a message saying it's ours. So as soon as uni finished, that was it. I came back to France and I started working on it. You know, painting, jet washing, sanding, many layers of paint, and lots of coach lines and lots of redoing the coach lines because they weren't good. And then it was taken out so that we could sort the bottom out, make sure it was all okay. Turns out it was actually pretty good. The anodes did need changing, they were pretty worn out. Yeah, and just basically been restoring it, renovating it, taking it out on cruises because the motor runs very well. So yeah, I like cruising on Benjamin. It's a nice peaceful time and it tootles along quite nicely. And hopefully when the canals open up again, which is in March, I will be able to move Benjamin somewhere. I don't know if I will go up to Paris, I don't know if I'll go down to Dijon. Not Dijon, I'd not go to Dijon. Go to Lyon or somewhere else. Where I am, you can basically go all the way down to the south of France quite easily, or you can go all the way up to the north of France and into Holland and all along there, which would be lovely. Try and figure out where the best place is to go. I didn't ever think I would live on a boat, but then, I don't know, something about Benjamin was so cute and lovely, and I don't know, I love tiny houses. Like, I love tiny houses. And my goal was to one day own a tiny house, but I guess basically Benjamin is a tiny house, technically. I love it. I think obviously eventually I'm not going to stay on Benjamin forever. Eventually I'd love to get a van and turn that into a house and go travelling around the world with the van. I think that would be really cool. I mean, there's only one little flaw, which is that I can't drive, but you know, details. So yes, I do need to learn to drive. I would love to do that. That is a future plan. We shall see what happens with that. Pizza is in. But that is mainly it about me. Yeah, leave a comment down below if you want to know more about me or more about Benjamin. I'll do my best to respond to you. I think I'll just leave you here, and if I come back, it's because I've thought of something else to say, but if I don't, I shall see you next week. Bye!